हाय फ्रेंड्स। GS1 की हिस्ट्री के सीरीज़ में आप लोग नेक्स्ट टॉपिक जो देख रहे हैं वो पटना कलाम पेंटिंग है। सो यहाँ पे बेसिकली गाइज ये जो अपन लोग इसमें कुछ भी एक्सप्लेन नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि कुछ लैंग्वेज काफ़ी सिंपल है, एक्सप्लेन करने जैसा कुछ भी नहीं है। इसको अपन लोग जो है इस वीडियो को एज अ लिसनिंग के पर्पज से यूज़ कर सकते हैं वाइल डूइंग सम एक्स्ट्रा स्टेप्स। तो उस टाइम पे अपन लोग जो है ईयरफोन से इसको सुन सकते हैं, याद कर सकते हैं। मेंस के लिए काफ़ी हेल्पफुल होने वाला है। सो देखते हैं ये टॉपिक पटना कलाम पेंटिंग्स। So Mughal rule in India has influenced the social, cultural, political and the economic lifestyle of the Indian people, but the area which mostly influenced was art, architecture and the culture. As far as painting is concerned, Jahangir's reign was known as the golden era of the Mughal paintings, combining the Persian styles with the Indian traditional style. They introduced a new way of the painting. Many Indian schools of the paintings were flourished afterwards and they were heavily influenced by the Mughal paintings. One among these was Patna School of the Paintings or the Patna Kalam or the Company painting. Patna Kalam was an offshoot of the Mughal painting, flourished during early 18th to mid 20th century in Bihar. The principal centers were Patna, Danapur and the Ara. सो यू कैन सी गाइज, ये जो है इसको तीन नाम से जानते हैं अपन लोग, पटना स्कूल ऑफ द पेंटिंग या पटना कलाम या कंपनी पेंटिंग। और ये 18th टू जो है मिड जो है 20th सेंचुरी तक ये जो है मतलब कि फ्लरिश करता है बिहार में। इसके जो प्रिंसिपल जो सेंटर्स थे वो पटना, दानापुर एंड आरा थे। ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट देखते हैं। ड्यूरिंग द रूल ऑफ द औरंगजेब, हिंदू आर्टिशंस ऑफ द मुगल पेंटिंग्स फेस्ड persecutions because of anti-Hindu policy and distaste in art and the painting. Thus, these painters first shifted to Murshidabad, which was growing itself as a power center. With the decline and the subsequent fall of the Murshidabad, the court artist looked westward to the next biggest city in the east and started migrating to Patna and the Purnia. By mid 18th century, many of those artists had settled in the Patna with their families and under the patronage of the local aristocracy, and often in Dauphin Sions of the early East India Company started a unique form of the paintings which came to be known as the Company School or the Patna Kalam. So Patna by this time had developed into an important trade centers and newly riches of the company officials and merchants were delighted with these paintings. Painting took a whole new label from the royal paintings. Painters were accustomed with the painters of the Patna Kalam were settled in the area of the Diwan Mohalla, Lodi Katra and the Macharhatta in Patna, and by 1770s the style was firmly established. These artists used to paint sets of the caste occupation known as the firqa based on everyday life. Wassermen, hawkers, bengal sellers, butchers, fish sellers, carpenters, washermen, basket sellers, distillers, etc. and not royals became subject of these paintings. Patna painters were exploring the European market and trying to adapt their style to the taste of the Europeans who greatly respected his versatility and the competence. While this demand for these miniatures of the ordinary life in India was being established and served as a pictorial documentary of the life in those times, throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, miniatures portraits on the paper, vellum, bone, and the later ivory were the fashions with the upper and the middle classes. Some famous painters of the Patna Kalam were the Sevak Ram, 1770 to 1830, Hulas Lal 1785 to 1875, Jairam Das, Fakir Chand, Jhumak Lal, Nityanand Lal, Tunni Lal, Siva Lal, Mahadev Lal, Syam Bihari Lal, etc. Nisar Mehdi was popular for portraits and the landscape, while the Hulas Lal used his naturalistic figures as the material for the organic rhythm. Among the last painters of the Patna Kalam was Ishwari Prasad Burma. Radha Mohan Babu left no attempt to make this painting school live for long. He was the founder of the Patna Art School, which started in a single room on the Govind Mitra Road in Patna and blossomed into the government schools of the art and the crafts. Main features and the characteristics of the Patna Kalam paintings. Miniatures were the primary paintings and these were very simple, lucid and the proportionate. While retaining the grace of the Mughal style, Patna Kalam decided to remain simplistic in nature. Patna Kalam has clear influence of the Mughal painting and the Pahadi painting due to its root in them. Also, there is the influence of the Western as well as Calcutta was the next nearest market, which was called as the London of the East. Hence, the painting shows rare fusion of the native and the foreign elements. Although they followed the basic features of the Mughal painting, their subject matter was different. Unlike the Mughal paintings, whose subject were mainly royalty, courts, and the hunting scenes, painters of the Patna Club were deeply influenced by the daily life of the common people, like the artisans working, the merchants at the market, ironsmith, bazaar scenes, local rulers, local festivals, and the ceremonies. A painting of the Tanga house cart is a horse cart is a very famous Another painting of the Golgar is remarkable, which shows that Golgar was actually built near the bank of the river Ganges, which shows changes in the landscape. These paintings are characterized by the light color sketches and lifelike representations. One of the important characteristics of the Patna Kalam is that usually they do not paint any landscape, foreground, or the background. Other features of the Patna school of the paintings was the development in the shading of the solid forms. The art of the finishing touch is marvelous in the Patna Kalam. The painting of the flying bird is a perfect example of this. The thin fur as well as the wings of the birds are depicted so clearly as if the painting seems to be an absolute photography. The features of the figures of these paintings are characterized by the pointed nose, heavy eyebrows, lean and the gaunt faces, sunken and the deep sets, staring eyes, and the big mustaches. The painters used to extract colors indigenously from the plants, barks, flowers, and the petals. Generally, they painted on paper, glass, mica, and ivory sheets, which were mostly handmade. The paper these paintings mostly were made on was generally recycled from the waste paper, and the brushes used were made of the fur of the animals. The tail of the squirrel was the most famous choices of the artist. The paper was treated with a vitriol and arrowroot, which not only used to give it a shining face but also acted as the preservative so that the paintings could really last long. The paintings are painted straightway with a brush without using the pencil to delineate the contours of the pictures. This technique was commonly known as the Kajli Syahi decline. After attaining the fame and the glory for about a century, Patna Kalam declined due to the lack of the patronage from the colonial government, lack of the demand from the customers, advent of the photography, etc. Dr. Abdul Hadi wrote a book on the Patna Kalam which gives a detailed account of the same. The government of Bihar published the 2010 yearly calendar with the theme of the Patna Kalam. Many paintings of the Patna Kalam can be seen at the Patna Museum, Patna Arts College, and the Kudavaksh Library, Patna. This is the most unfortunate thing about the Patna Kalam, like the world famous Madhubani paintings. It has not received its due share of the acknowledgement. Despite of that, many believes that the eponymous paintings was far superior to the more popular Mithila paintings. The Patna Kalam faced competition from the Madhubani paintings, which is marketed professionally both at the home